I'm very excited about this video because I'm about to share with you one of my biggest secret techniques that I use in my decorating projects. I believe it's one that allows me to create beautifully layered spaces. This technique goes a little bit against conventional wisdom, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. Sometimes I have to convince clients that it's the right thing to do, but I promise you I've never had a client who didn't love the results. Now, before I jump to my number one technique, make sure that you watch my last two videos if you haven't already. In those videos, we covered some pretty important information. So if you are serious about stepping up your decorating game, make sure you go back to watch them. I talked about why the more traditional approach to decorating will not give you the results you're after and will not allow you to create those layered, curated spaces. And by the traditional approach, I mean collecting lots of inspiration pictures and then going out and focusing on buying primarily those key big pieces of furniture, like your sofas and chairs and dining tables, beds and nightstands. That will not yield the results you want. And I also introduced you to my own decorating method, which I call the Magazine-Worthy layering method. And I explained why it's much more effective at creating those inspired, sophisticated spaces. I also introduced you to the very first step that I always take when I approach a decorating project. And I believe it's one you need to learn to step up your decorating game. So if you haven't watched those two videos, make sure you go back and watch them right now. Okay, are you ready for this? My number one tip for decorating is to stop matching colors too closely in your space. One of the main secrets behind beautifully layered interiors is introducing varying shades, tints, and tones of the colors in your palette to create nuance and depth. Let me show you what I mean. In this room, we have a palette of taupes, browns, green, and black. But do note how the taupes vary. The chairs are a little warmer, the sofas are a little more gray, the drapes are decidedly different than the sofa. And then we have a rug that is warmer and darker. The browns are also varied. We have the stain of the ceiling and some wooden accessories on the ottoman. But then we have the copper and brass of the other objects, all of which are variants of the brown that create a sense of depth. And here's an interesting part. Our ottoman is green, but we don't have green anywhere else in the room. This goes against conventional wisdom, doesn't it? We're often told that we need to repeat our accent colors in a few different places for a space to feel cohesive. That is not true. What we did instead is we used hits of blue in the rug. Green is adjacent to blue on the color wheel, and deviating from green like that into the next color is what builds nuance and depth. Now, we could have used green in the rug or somewhere else in the room, but I would have used a different green, perhaps skewing more towards emerald. So if your room is feeling flat and lacks depth, I encourage you to try to introduce some elements that utilize different variants of your key colors. Some lighter, some darker, skewing a little warmer, skewing a little cooler, moving to adjacent colors on the color wheel. Now, why are we more attracted to spaces that have this level of nuance in your color palette? I believe it's because as humans, we're hardwired to appreciate what we see in nature. And what we see in nature is definitely nuanced. Look at any landscape and you'll realize that it includes a vast array of shades, tints, tones of various colors and lots of those adjacent colors. So it makes perfect sense that we would also appreciate that same level of nuance in our interiors. This is just one of the many strategies that I use to create beautiful layered spaces. In my upcoming Magazine-Worthy Spaces Masterclass, I'll show you many more techniques and tricks that I use. And the best part is that I'll be there to answer your questions and help you out. I'll be doing live Q&A calls, which means you get access to me personally. This is why the course will be capped, since I can only work with a certain number of people at the same time. I'd love to build a connection with every student and really be there to provide the help and support you need. It's more fun and more effective that way. So make sure to be on the lookout for more information. In the next video, I'm going to show you the complete plan from beginning to end that you need to follow to create interesting, layered, and sophisticated spaces. I'm going to show you every single step you have to take to turn your home into the amazing space you've been dreaming of. So be on the lookout because you don't want to miss that. And if you're not on my early bird list yet, make sure to put your name down so that you get all the information in your inbox as it comes out, and you're going to get my invitation to join the class one day before it opens to the general public. Thanks so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you then.